If they want me back, I'll go back.
So from what I understand, you want to go to the motivational side, the motivational speaking side, and not so much coaching, or is it more just, you said you do living rooms, but again, it's
Coaching as in helping people be better speakers, or
one-on-one.
individuals?
No.
Well,
Individual.
actually,
coping.
unfortunately, I have several friends who have cancer or have had cancer, and I teach them how to be an advocate if they want to discuss it with me. And the ones who are open to it, I help them with that, because you
Right.
really have to be an advocate for yourself. And some of them don't even want to talk to me. They, like this one friend, doesn't want to ask me a question. I've been through it. Okay, fine. So I will certainly be happy to do one-on-one coaching. And I also advertise coaching people to give better speeches. Because I know, you have to, don't do the ums, and do that. Make sure you look at everybody. But of course, having the heart attached to the eye really helps. Because when I look into your eye, I really mean I'm looking into your eye. And yours too. I have a lazy eye, so I'm looking at you too, Stella.
Let me ask you, we have a few minutes left. What I'd like to ask you is...
How tall am I? Oh,
That
okay,
too.
sorry.
Yes.
Your address? You want to take him home,
No,
right?
we've already
I am
we've already
bisexual.
solidified that.
And
We
I
know
am
that's happening.
bisexual, and I'm happy to advertise that. Come on, both of you, let's go. Out for coffee.
How was that with your friends going through this? Did you discover who your friends were? You must have been
Boy, did I ever. Hui, you should read that chapter. Yeah. No, they all but deserted me, actually, in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Because they
And
didn't
an
know.
ex-girlfriend actually came back into my life at that time to help.
Do you think that people shy away when there's a huge adversity like the cancer in your life?
It goes right back
and
to
a challenge?
it's what Marla said. It goes right
Yeah.
back to not knowing what to say.
Yeah.
And it's not so during
It's not
this for
only
you.
that, not only what to say, hold your thought, it's also some people, one person had come into the good karma belief, and she thought I clearly had bad karma, so she stayed away. Also, it's a negativity thing, and it's some people can't handle sickness.
No.
And when you become bald, you don't look so good. I mean, I did look good, but there were days that I didn't.
No, for sure.
And also, I was very sick.
Yeah.
Yes.
And people didn't want to be around it.
yeah.
How was it?
It was hard.
You mentioned afterwards that your mother and father passed.
Yeah.
How was that
unfortunately.
during that time? Were you spending a lot of time with the family, or were you mostly?
Luckily, I'd moved back to Toronto in time and had been home a year, and then my father suddenly had a stomach ache and was dead in 24 hours.
Was this after your recovery?
This is after my recovery.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep.
But during your
They were in Toronto. I was in LA. They came to help. I sent them back home. It was too many dynamics of old,
Old issues?
Old issues, and
Yeah.
I said, but, and then my sister would come for every chemo, and then she would go back home to her family. And then I just got so sick, I just called my mother and I said, can you come? And she said, I've been waiting for you to say that. And so she came, and she stayed a month, and that was a special time.
And you really needed that.
Uh-huh. I really needed that.
family is so important.
Yeah.
It's important when they respect you.
Yes.
It's important when it clicks.
And when they accept you as well.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, because, this is now my journey. This is my cancer journey now. I'm not here to please you, Mommy and Daddy. You're
Right.
here to either assist me or not,
Okay, so you recovered after spending that wonderful time with your mom,
Yeah.
and you come home
And it's not the same. You come home, and I talk about this in my speech, home is where the heart is, but they also say you can never go back home. And it was a huge, difficult adjustment of pieces of the puzzle not fitting at all. And I became very depressed. And that's a point where I just collapsed on my parents' kitchen floor and saying, I can't get through this. I can't get through one more thing. I've lived through this, and now I can't get a job. I don't want to do stand-up, and what am I going to do? And my mother picks me up off the floor and looks me in the eyes, and she goes, you can get through this because you're stronger than you think. No, I'm not. She goes, yes, you are stronger than you think. And I used that and that scene as my last message in my speech to the audience. To whatever your adversity is. And I sometimes can feel certain energies from certain people through the room possibly struggling with something, and I zoom in and they go, you are stronger than you think. They go, really? Yeah, I think you are. And that doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect, but you'll face it with strength.
Yes. Yeah.
And that doesn't mean my
absolutely.
life's perfect either. It ain't. It's like this still. But when things are good, I love it. I cherish it. Especially when I walk, because I couldn't walk for a year because my bad. And every time
Really?
I walk, now I know when people go, boy, I appreciate this. I appreciate every step. And every morning I can go to the gym and do what I can do.
And your gratitude level changes for different things that were so
For different
every
things.
day.
For
And
different
now
things.
yes.
Not classic textbook things that people go, oh, you really
No,
cherish
the
that."
simple things that people tend to forget that they can do because it's part of their everyday life and they're used to it.
Now I want to hear
Like
what
walking.
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Honesty. People being good to me, let's say, because I'm good to them. Reciprocating. And this isn't just because of cancer. I felt like that before, but it's just after losing your parents and losing your career and losing your health, it's like, I don't want to take any crap anymore. And so I want to suddenly, and it almost feels like this is more so now recently, an accumulation of things than a year ago or 10 years ago. It's, I want to see the goodness exchanged. I want to see some compassion. I want to see some patience.
Right.
I don't want to be used anymore, and I don't think other people should be used. I have to say, I'm talking about myself. I'm standing up for myself. I certainly am giving to other people and stuff when I can be, for sure. But things like that, the walking and having a connecting time. I talk about connection a lot. If you connect with somebody, that special connection, it's not a dime a dozen. They don't come around every day. So when you have it, cherish it, nurture
Absolutely.
it. And when people neglect their relationships and they connect their friendships, it's like plants. They wouldn't do it to their plants, but they do it to their friends, their family, if they're a good family. Some
Right.
families, some friends aren't good. Let's face it. Just because you're blood, it doesn't mean that you're good to each other. So if you're not, get off the toilet,
Well, Marla, I want to say it was an absolute pleasure.
My pleasure.
To
My
meet you.
pleasure.
And,
I'm sure we're all surprised.
And no, this is absolutely a wonderful way to start my day.
It was a
And
wonderful way to start mine.
And I want to thank you for being here. And
Thanks
I want to
for
remind
having me.
everybody out there, whether it's for personal reasons or for business reasons or for motivation and whatnot, if you want to get hold of Marla Lukofsky, it's www.marlalukofsky.com, and she'd be more than happy to talk to you. I'm just going to say it will be a moving experience for you, so don't be shy. Anyways, again, Marla, thank you so much.
Thank
and hopefully
you,
you'll come
Randy.
back.
I'd love to come back.
All right.
Randy. Stella,
Maybe tomorrow,
thank you
because
very
she's
much.
already said she's taking me home, so maybe tomorrow we'll do it again. But
And Stella, too.
and we'll talk about
River,
stories.
bye-bye.
We'll talk about stories then. There'll be a whole new
That's for
chapter
sure.
in your Anyways, you're watching The Liquid Lunch on thatchannel.com. I'm Randy Thomas. This is Stella Hunt, and we'll be right back with Susanna Hahn and more of a wonderful day here at thatchannel.com.
Count your sides to every story.